So today we have something special. These cases are brand new and you might have seen some of these cases online, but I've got something special and some colors that aren't even available to public. But let's take a look at these PC cases as well as some of the other products that they have, which looks very interesting. So let's go.
Looking for a cheap way to license your Windows? Check out WhoKeys through the links in the video description. Make sure to use the code TN20 to get a 30% off. Paste the license to the activation settings and you're all done. This license is for Windows 10, but you can upgrade it to Windows 11 for free. They also offer Microsoft Office 19 license. Use the same code TN20 to get a 30% off. Check out whokeys.com in the video description below.
So firstly, there is 3 official colors of this case. So this is the APNX C1 case, and this is an ATX tower size case. We have the black here. Then the one that you've seen online the most is this chroma flare color, which is basically like a blue and purple kind of design depending which way you're looking at it. So if I'm gonna move and change it, you should be able to see it change the color. There is a little bit of a purple blue tone going in there, and you've seen many people build with that case before. The one we're actually going to take a closer look is this white one, just because it's the easiest to see because we've got all of the white inside. So what's different about this case is that firstly, the design is so refreshing, but I've got a little feeling that some of this is actually inspired, or some of the guys who actually worked at FRACTAL have helped them design this, because in some of the design online it looks very similar, or kind of like the design or feel of FRACTAL, which I'm a big fan of. There is actually 2 mesh panels behind here, one behind like the back of the motherboard and one on the side here, which can also be the intake, which you'll see later. And this panel is actually curved 90 degree, and this is all mesh in the corner here, which is new, which we haven't seen before. So let's try to take this case apart slowly. So here we can see the glass panel. There's a little lip in the back there. So if you pull this way, we've got the glass panel coming off. This is quite large glass actually, with very small bezels around. Then in the back here there is another little lip which we can push up, and then the top panel comes off. This is mesh as well, and the mesh is actually a square design. Then if we move on to the front here, this panel comes off by sliding it upwards. So when we slide it up and then out, then this comes off. All of this right now, what I'm feeling is a very high quality design, and materials and feels. It really looks really cool and good quality to me right now. And then the last panel, this in the back here, there's another little lip behind here. If you pull it this way, and then that comes off just like that. Now in the front there is a little mesh as well, or like a little filter that comes off by pulling these little lips in there. Boom, and it clips out. So firstly, about the fan support. This case supports quite a few fans. In the front, you can put 3 120 or 140 millimeter fans. It comes included with 3 140 millimeter fans in the front. They are also ARGB. Then we've got 120 millimeter fan in the back, and the back only supports 120 millimeters. On the top of the case, we have support for 320 millimeters or 240 millimeter fans, and the same with radiators. Apart from the front, where you can only fit 360 millimeter radiators, even though there is a support for 140 millimeter fans. On the back side of the case, we have support for another 320 millimeter fans, as well as some more fans that you can fit in here. You can fit another fan in the back of the motherboard, just over here, that blows air on the back of the CPU socket, which is very new, that I haven't seen before, but is very useful. So this little mesh panel here is actually where you can fit lots of different things. There is a little cheat sheet in the top there, HDD, SSD and fan. So there's some holes that have like a little hole that has a notch on the bottom and then notch on the left side, or just a circular hole like this. So here we can see 120 millimeter fan holes just there like that. Then if you want to fit some SSDs, you can put 3 2.5 inch SSDs or hard drives in there, as well as 3 3.5 inch hard drives or SSDs behind there. So if we undo this panel here, 2 screws from the top and 2 screws on the bottom. And now this mesh panel is off. This is really like a pegboard from IKEA, which I like, and which kind of makes me feel that this is another Scandinavian design PC case, which I'm a big fan of. So just some PC accessories in there. But if we take a 120mm fan, then you can see that it fits over there just like that. Now the cool thing is that this back panel here, actually there's quite big thickness here of all the cables that you want to put inside here. So whether you're PSU cables that come out from here, they come in and there's quite a bit of space there, probably like an inch and a bit. So you can fit all your cables nicely in there and kind of put the panel on the top, and you're pretty much sorted. Because there's no glass panel in the back, the cable management should be quite easy. What we can also see in the top here is the fan and RGB hub header. So basically we do have a SATA power for this, so you need to plug that one in, but then you can put all the fan headers in there, what they have already done. So instead of giving you loads of RGB and fan headers that you don't have enough space to put on the motherboard, one RGB header and then one fan header that you literally plug into your motherboard, which they have actually plugged into there already. So this goes to your motherboard for RGB, this goes for the fan RPM, and then you actually have one free as well. So if you want to add another fan in there, maybe for the back here, you can just add that in there, which is very nice. Another interesting small detail what I can see is all of the outside mesh that you see on the panels have square little holes. All the inside of the paneling and the back of these holes are actually circular design. You can also see some thumb screws for your PSU. They're quite big thumb screws, but I can still not undo them without a screwdriver. So you might need a little bit of help for that. So this comes off, you can put your PSU in, and then it slides in from the back. Look at this logo design just on the bottom over here. How close is that one to FRACTAL design? So here we can see the motherboard layout where your motherboard's gonna go. You've got all the standoffs for the ATX size motherboard in here. But another interesting thing that I'm straight away noticing is the cutout of the motherboard in the back. So it looks like it does support the cableless motherboards, or what they call it, like cable free, or whichever ones, different companies call them differently, where all the connectors are actually on the other side of the motherboard. Because look, all of the side has been cut off, all the top here, all of these here, all of this over there for your CPU fan or whatever, all the way on the bottom. There's no like connections there. There's only a few little like bridges here that connect this back bit to this, which makes it still actually impressively solid. These fans here look very, very interesting as well. They've got an interesting design. They look very minimal. They've got like curved edges like this, very minimal. What I'm actually used to seeing again on FRACTAL's website, there is an included GPU holder here as well that you can move from this side if you've got a long GPU to this one here as well if you've got a little bit of a shorter GPU to actually move it on the side. Now this side panel can be actually removed. So on the back here there are a few screws. So this one here depends if you want to have fans on the side or not. I know it's very popular now that everyone wants to have these fans on the side, but actually I really like the minimalistic look of this cover, which kind of like these holes make it look like NZXT or even Corsair's kind of side panel here, but it just makes it very, very minimal. Here's this back panel. You've got thumb screws on the back for the GPU support that you can move up and down, or to the previous setting on the side if you need that. But this will make your cable routing very much easier and cleaner when you have this one on. Now you can see there's 2 more screws in here, which actually removes this part of the front panel there as well. If you do want to get a little bit of an easier access from the side to your PSU cables or paneling. Now another thing I do want to mention is that if you've got this panel on, you can't put the third fan in the bottom over there. You can only put 2 fans on the top because the bottom fan, this panel kind of blocks it out there. So I undid these screws, and if we look on the bottom here, so right now this is the front of the case. We've got 2 more screws in there. And then this panel comes off. As you can see, these holes are circular, different from the outside panel, as you can see. So now you can see that there is a hole in there. So this bottom fan will actually blow air on the bottom of the PSU as well. Now on the bottom of the case, there are actually a little dust cover as well for the whole length that you can just pull out from the back. Now moving on the top of the case, we have the front panel I/O, which we have one power button, 2 USB ports that are type A, and then 1 USB type C port, headphone and mic combo jack, as well as a reset button that is actually routed to the RGB controller that changes the RGB modes, so you can do that over there, but you can put this into the motherboard reset button as well if you wanted to. Now, as you can see, there are 6 screws here to undo the top bracket as well. If you want to attach all the fans separately and then put the bracket on the back there, this is possible through these here. And there is actually a little bit of adjustment for the whole bracket. As you can see, it can move all the way to the up to this part there, and there is a little bit of a bottom hole here as well. So this bracket moves a bit in there just in case you have the back panel or wherever your motherboard or things are. This is what you can do. There's quite a bit of space inside here for all sorts of things, and I'm really liking the design. It's minimal, high quality, it just works. To be honest, the white and black look amazing to me as well, and I don't know which one I like more, the chroma flare behind me or these ones. Let me know what you think and which, you know, PC part should I use for the rest of the build. But before I'm going to show you the color that wasn't published, I want to look at the actual website of theirs. This is apnx.com, and you can see some of the designs what they have over here. I mean, this looks so much like FRACTAL in here. These fans look like FRACTAL as well. These are the ones that are included here. This is, I think, the 120mm one. Oh, what I forgot to mention about these fans included with this case is that these are all 30mm thick. So not 25, but 30mm, which means that they just shift more air through and better performance there. And look at the design of this. I mean, this looks so much like what FRACTAL design has there. I mean, look at this. This is a FRACTAL Pop XL. Look at the design of FRACTAL's like coolers there, and look at this here. Can you feel like the similar design of like minimalistic and like the same type of things there? Another APNX design there for the cooler and aesthetics. It just looks very, very similar to me. I don't know, is it just me or you? I love all of these different colors. I think they're absolutely amazing. I love the design. It just, I mean, look how similar this looks, like these types of pictures here. What you can see. I mean, look at that, and then let's go here. How similar is this here? Anyway, that's not the point. What I wanted to show you is actually that they have some fans as well. So there's FB2 and FB1. So the ones that are included with the case are FB1s, I believe, but these are FB2s. They're performance fans, and you can see that there's RGB kind of like strips around there as well. 30mm thick steel frame, which is interesting, and you can have reverse blades included if you wanted to as well, so you can put them on the bottom and they still look like nice. You can pop them out. The aesthetics look absolutely amazing. I mean, look at this. How cool is this design? You can have them in black variants like that on the side, or white on the side as well. So I'm really liking the look of these fans. Just looks absolutely amazing. So that's the fans FB2. There's FB1s as well. They're very similar. But I also want to look at this cooler. So there's the AP1V cooler, which is, look at the minimalistic design of this cooler. How cool is that? I'd love to test that. There's 5 heat pipes there. I think this is going to be quite a nice cooler actually. It says 240 watt TDP, but I doubt it's going to do that. I'd love to test it, but we'll see that. How nice of a cooler design is this? I'm really enjoying this. Beautiful design. Look, you can get it in black or white. I mean, APNX, can we get one of those as well to actually make a build with this? This looks absolutely awesome. I told you that I have something special. So this here is the actual production version of the design of this chroma flare. And this is kind of like a matte design or matte finish of the same color. But for some reason, APNX actually accidentally sent me a different pre-production version, which is this one here. And I just noticed there is actually something else in this box, which I didn't know was in there. But these cases have different actual finishes. So even though the color is the same, but the pre-production one has a shiny finish compared to the matte finish on the right here. So this is the matte, what you will see, but this is a different version there. I'm going to take the top panels off, then it's easier for you to see. So here you can see the actual color difference. The one on the right here is a matte finish, and the one on the left is a bit of a glossy finish. So I'm not sure if you can see the difference. You can see by the way the white light reflects from the front angle here. This one has a much more reflective light angle. And I do think the matte one looks much nicer than this glossy finish. The matte one looks a bit more high quality compared to the glossy one, but the glossy one has more color in terms of the purple as well. The purple comes out easier than the blue, but I do prefer the matte one. So I'm glad they made this change there to go with the matte version compared to this glossy finish. You're gonna see how much the light reflects on this compared to this here. I think this chroma flare would go really, really well with the Intel Arc A750 or A770 from Sparkle that we have the blue GPU inside there as well. I think that will be absolutely amazing. Now the black version in the back there is absolutely gorgeous as well, and I'd love to build with it or do something with it because the minimalistic design just really looks awesome. Yes, so this is the vertical GPU mount. You can see it over here. It's quite high quality, and you've got the PCI riser cable in here as well. Now, which color do you think looks the best, and do you like the design of this? I'm a big fan of this. If you do want to check these out, I'm going to leave them in the description below. And as always, feel free to check out the PC build guides for creators in the description below if you're looking for the best bang for buck performance for your creator PC. Now, knowing these parts, if you want to swap the case out with this one, feel free to do that. But all the downgrades or upgrades are down in the description below. Thanks guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.